Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Ann with another fun story and a craft for December. The first one in December. And hope you're having a great month with your family and friends. And I hope you're getting around and walk around the beautiful village and seeing all the beautiful decorations and the lights at night. So pretty. And I thought we would do some stories today involving some animals and the clothes they wear in the winter. But first I want to tell you about a few things going on here. Of course, you know, we had our first time last year, Ugly Sweaters program here at the library with Miss Mary Adams, and it was awesome. Unfortunately, we can't get together this year, but we're going to do Ugly Sweater selfies. So you have until December 18th to send pictures of you in beautiful Babylon Village somewhere in your family ugly sweaters. Send them in by December 18th and send them to babylonlib@gmail.com. BABYLONLIB@gmail.com. And then what we'll do is make a slideshow that'll go up on our Facebook page and on the Village Facebook page. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, definitely do that. And of course, we're going to do, again, we can't have a gingerbread house program this year, but we're going to do a gingerbread house paper craft. So we have a paper craft kit here in the children's room. Come pick it up. Decorate it any way you want and have it back to the library and put it on display again by December 18th. And if you bring it back for display, you get entered in a raffle for a Costco gingerbread mansion, not a house, but a mansion. So it's extra swanky and cool. So I kind of want to move into it right now. I really do. But so those are the fun things that are happening this December. We're also doing some awesome December crafts. You know, the craft cart. Come down and take a look at all the stuff and take some crafts home to do. Come and say hi. We miss seeing you guys. See a lot of you regular, but always good to see you. And now we're going to do some stories. This is actually one of my all-time favorite stories to read aloud. It's called Froggy Gets Dressed by Jonathan London. And it's a story about Froggy in winter. And let's see. And you see, I like his room. He's got a nice cozy blanket, and he's getting ready to have an adventure. Let's see what happens. It goes like this. Froggy gets dressed. It was cold. Let me move so you can see it. It was cold. Froggy woke up and looked out the window. Snow, snow, he sang. I want to play in the snow. Go back to sleep, Froggy, said his mother. Don't you know? Frogs are supposed to sleep all winter. Wake up when the snow melts. No, no, cried Froggy. I'm awake, awake. I want to go out and play in the snow. Now, just an aside, parents, do you ever hear anything like that? Like, say, 6 a.m. in the morning? Nah, right? Your kids sleep through, right? I'm so sorry. So Froggy put on his socks, zoop. He pulled on his boots, up. He put on his hat, zap. Tied on his scarf, zwip. Tugged on his mittens, zum. And flopped outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. And you know what? Can you say it with me? When I count to 3, yell, Froggy. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, cried Froggy. I forgot to put on my pants. He flopped back inside, flop, 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 tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat, pulled off his boots, he left his socks on, and slipped his pants on. Zip. Then he pulled on his boots, up, put on his hat, zap, tied on his scarf, zwip, tugged on his mittens, zoom, and flopped back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. And you know what's going to happen. Ready? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? Froggy looked down. Oops, he cried. I forgot to put on my shirt. And your coat, added his mother. Moms always like that, right? They want you to be nice and warm. He flopped back inside, flop, 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 tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, took off his hat. He left his pants, boots, and socks on, and buttoned up his shirt. Zut, zut, zut. Then he snapped on his coat, snap, put on his hat, zap, tugged on his scarf, zwip, tugged on his mittens, zoom, and flopped back outside into the snow. Flop, flop, flop. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Froggy, called his mother. What? Yelled Froggy. Did you forget to put something on? What could he have forgotten? Let's see. Froggy looked down. He had on his mittens, he had on his scarf, he had on his coat, he had on his shirt, he had on his pants, he had on his boots, he had on his socks, he reached up, yep, he had on his hat. What could be missing? What do you think is missing? Should we turn the page and see? Okay. Your underwear, his mother laughed. Oh my gosh. Oops, cried Froggy, looking more red in the face than green. He flopped back inside, flop, flop, flop. He tugged off his mittens, untied his scarf, unsnapped his coat, unbuttoned his shirt, unzipped his pants, pulled off his boots, took off his socks, he left his hat on, and slipped his long johns on with a zap of elastic. There he is with his long johns. Then he put one sock on, zoop, pulled on one boot, zup, tugged on one mitten, zum, started to tug on the other, and let it drop, and said, I'm too tired, and went back to sleep. Let's say, good night, Froggy. And Froggy goes back to sleep. Well, that was an adventure, right? I like that story about Froggy gets rest. And then I have another one. It's my favorite book about a chicken, which is saying something, because there are actually some good books about chickens. There's also the one about Peggy, but this is A Hat for Minerva Louise by Janet Morgan Stokey. And Minerva Louise is a curious bird, and let's see what happens on her adventures. Minerva Louise loved snowy mornings. Her friends didn't like them one bit. They stayed inside all day with their heads tucked under their wings. Not Minerva Louise. She couldn't wait to go out exploring. Everything was so beautiful. Looks a little like Argyle Lake there, doesn't it? She wanted to stay out all day, but it was too cold. If I had some warm things like you, she said, I could stay out and play. Who is she looking at right there, right? It's the scarecrow. A scarf might help, but not this one. It's way too big. It's green, so you can't really see it with the green screen, but that is a big garden hose. She's being silly, isn't she? And these shoes are too big, too. What are they? Are those gloves, like garden gloves? A hat. That's just what I need. Is that a hat? What do you think it is? But not this one. And not this one either. It's too heavy. Oh my goodness, she's using a shoe for a hat. She really is silly. There must be a hat around here somewhere. Minerva Louise looked outside. Everyone had on a fluffy white hat. Oh, your hat is wonderful. Where did you get it? She asked the snow person. Oh, look, what's over here? A hat. It's perfect. But what's this? Oh, it's two hats. Is that hats? I guess to her it's a hat, right? Which was just fine with Minerva Louise. And look, she's nice and warm with a hat on her butt and a hat on her head. She's so silly. And there she is with the sheep looks kind of perplexed by Minerva Louise and her two hats. And that is another great story. So don't forget, count those on your 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten if you're doing it. If you haven't done that, definitely sign up for it. And today's craft is going to be, it's a tribute to the Ugly Sweater program we're doing. We have this really fetching ugly sweater. I'm going to put like the sweater out with like different materials, and you can bring it home and make your own beautiful ugly sweater and let us know how it turns out. Okay, everyone, have a great week. Have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.